War in Iraq has drawn to a close. We still have many men and women serving overseas who won't be able to spend Christmas with their families. While all of the troops sacrificed for our country, those who became prisoners of war were really put to the test. Fox 10 News reporter John Rogers brings you the story about a group of soldiers who, despite all odds, tried to make the most of it on Christmas.
Imagine being imprisoned and tortured for the simple reason of being who you are, an American. For hundreds of troops captured in Vietnam, this became their daily reality. And for retired Colonel Leo Thorsness, he had to endure it for 6 years.
Well, it was like hell, I guess you could say. It was old-fashioned torture. It was not sophisticated.
Men were held in dark isolation for days, were forced to listen to anti-American propaganda.
Isn't it clear that the war makers are gambling with your lives?
The men were beaten, shackled. Some were even forced to crawl on shards of glass. And that's not the worst of it.
There's a significant percent died in torture. You get to a point where you pray you can pass out or die.
But on Christmas Eve, 1972, Thorsness and the dozens of men in his bunker decided to recreate a little piece of home. One of the men in their group figured out how to make a paste out of rice. So they took their socks and formed a Christmas tree on the wall. It looked very similar to this. The American prisoners took toilet paper and figured out a way to dye it and make Christmas ornaments.
It was so meaningful. It's just about like you were out of prison.
Thankfully, the Vietnamese allowed them to carry on. And since the men had no presents to share, they all promised each other that they would exchange gifts when they returned home. These men certainly were not experiencing peace on earth, but the beauty of the Christmas season helped them forget their troubles and remember home. So on this Christmas, when you spend it with family and friends, don't forget how precious that gift really is. Thorsness struggles to think back on those days, but now he counts his blessings.
But if I talk about it in detail, somebody really presses me, and I'll have some real bad dreams. You can call them nightmares, but the good thing is I get this cute little wife of, in another couple of weeks, will be 58 years in marriage, and I wake up next to her, so it's always a happy ending.
Reporting in Mobile, John Rogers, Fox 10 News.
Thorsness and his fellow prisoners were released 3 months later. The group eventually made good on their promises, and they did exchange gifts the following year.